I was all set up and ready to live stream on the Amazon Live platform, and then all of a sudden the internet broke, literally. And I couldn't do my live stream talking about cameras. And it just so happened I jumped over into my iPhone and I was scrolling through YouTube, and I didn't even realize Sony was dropping their brand new Sony Alpha 1 camera. It just so happened that my Amazon live stream was going to be focused around cameras and talking about cameras that I like and cameras that I obviously use. And Sony is a camera that I use. I actually have two Sony a6400s, one right here in my hand and the one that I'm shooting this video with. So today, not only did the internet break literally, but it also broke because everybody is trying to figure out more about this new Sony Alpha 1 camera. We're going to talk about it in this video. Hey, what's going on everybody? Monty Weaver here and welcome to the channel. And if you're brand new, I talk about all things digital, tech, and social media. So if you're interested, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell to receive alert every time I upload a brand new video. Now today we're going to log into this computer and bring up this huge monitor behind me, and we're going to look at the specs of this new camera. Now, if you watch the National Football League, the NFL, you've probably already seen this camera in action. You've probably noticed the clarity in these end zone celebrations. That's because they're using this new high quality 8K resolution camera. Pictures from this camera have already been seen as well from the inauguration here in the United States. So this camera has already been getting some buzz, and now it's released to the public, and we're going to look at it in greater detail today. So let's jump into the monitor and let's take a look at this new Sony Alpha 1 camera. So we're going to kind of go through this together. We're just on Sony's website of their Alpha 1 camera. We're just going to read through some of the specs and see some of the awesome things about this particular camera. Now this is on their high end, so again, this is not going to be a budget level product. This is a high-end camera, but it is something worthy of providing those high-end quality shots and those high-end quality videos, especially if you're doing this as a profession. So I know a lot of you all that are at that level will actually enjoy this video even more just because of everything this camera offers. I know that a lot of people have been making the switch over to Sony products. You know, one of the reasons that I really love Sony for live streaming is because the battery life, and I can just do unlimited live streams on my a6400, but that's a different subject for a different day. Let's take a look here at some of the specs on this camera. We can see that it is 50 megapixels at 30 frames per second. This shoots in 8K. That is crazy. 8K 30 frames per second or 4K 120 frames per second. So this is a ridiculously powerful camera. I was looking at some of the specs on the live stream, and it was just showing the ability for the autofocus and things like that. So it makes it super easy to use when you're trying to take those high fast-paced shots as well. Let's go back up here. Let me just scroll down here. Some sample pictures of this. Obviously we just saw this one. Now obviously on YouTube it's a little bit different, but like these pictures are really crisp. And they were talking about in this particular picture right here, they were showing some other pictures around this volleyball, and it was talking about the shutter, how you have those black bars if you're doing shutter photography, and like how there was like no black bars on those images, and they did a side-by-side comparison as well. And then these are all images that they showed during the release. That is awesome. Look at that picture. Like if you do wildlife photography at a distance, you can get all kinds of incredible pictures that you couldn't get before. If you visit Sony's website, and I'll link below on this video, it'll give you all the specs for all my techie people that will want to see the lens name that was being used with the particular with the camera itself that was being used with the Sony Alpha 1. So for example, the volleyball shot here was shot with a 400 millimeter lens, 2.8 aperture on it. This lens down here for the Eagle was shot with a 600 millimeter f4 lens. Okay, so I'll link to some of this page that we guys can check that out as well. So let's go back to the main page here. Okay, as we drop down on the page now, we'll scroll down to the next section here, and it talks about the blend resolution and speed. And let's dive into here a little bit and see. And this is the part that I really like, the blackout free for an uninterrupted view. An uninterrupted blackout view of the subject lets you respond instantly and seamlessly. The EVF is updated at 240 frames per second to minimize latency during continuous shooting, blackout free shooting. And when you look at the images here, you'll really be able to see it. If you look at the golf image here, you'll see that the distortion is much more limited here. On camera one, you can see what the distortion would look like on the previous cameras, and then on camera 2 is what it would look like on this new Sony Alpha 1. And then if you look at the volleyball player, like I was mentioning earlier, those dark black shutter lines there, you can see what it would look like on the old cameras. And then on this new one, you can see that it is definitely clear. First, what says world-class flicker-free electronic and mechanical shutter. So that is going to be a huge benefit to the professional photographers out there. Then in here, it talks about the new CMOS sensor, all the good techie stuff here. I'll let you guys go through. So we scroll down here as well. You can see just the different quality that you get, especially like for facial expressions now, just to be able to see so much clearer. Autofocus for birds. So again, the wildlife, the autofocus on this looks very, very impressive. The tracking, even they were showing like the ski competition and the gentleman biking, the autofocus like follows so quickly, and it's going to be a huge game changer for those that are trying to get those action shots. And now you don't have to, you know, take 50,000 pictures to get that one. It looks like you can really get a whole bunch of really great pictures because of how powerful this camera is. The 8K recording is something that I am already excited to see more of just in production. And as you all are creating videos, and as I'm going through YouTube and looking at other videos about the new Sony Alpha 1, I'm excited to see these 8K quality videos. Now, you won't be able to see them unless you have a monitor that allows you to see the quality of these videos, but you'll definitely be able to see an improvement on no matter what monitor you're watching on. You won't be able to see the whole 8K, but you'll definitely be able to see the increased clarity for sure. So looking forward to that. 4K slow motion, 120 frames per second. That is incredible. 4K slow motion at that high of a speed. Okay. Again, real-time autofocus. And again, I love my Sony cameras because of the autofocus, and especially when you're live streaming and the blur effect. So, you know, not only is the camera, you know, very much needed, but the lens as well. And like being able to do something like that and get that autofocus right back on my face is something that is hands down a reason that I just love Sony, because they definitely pay attention to that. Let's go through and look at some other, obviously they talk about image stabilization, some of those things that you definitely need when you're out in the field. This has a touch monitor. As you can see, the first picture on the left, touch menu control, which I know people are very excited about. Then you also have your 2 CF Express Type A compatible media slots. Okay, so that is huge, so that you can take more pictures, more high quality pictures, more high quality videos, and actually have some room to store it. High capacity Z battery for extended recording. Obviously another good thing there. And then it talks about your professional workflows here. This thing has a super speed USB 10 gig type C connection, 100 or 1000 base T Ethernet for fast communication as well. The ability to use a remote camera control, FTP file transfer. There's a lot of functionality in this camera. You know, one of the things that the news and sports photographers want to do is be able to get these pictures back to home base very quickly and efficiently, and this camera will allow you to do that. You literally can, you know, use your app and send the pictures right off as you're still on the field or still in that place. So that's going to be a game changer. And here's some specs just on the size of it. 35mm full frame camera here. Let's see here. Different ISO resolutions, ISO still images 100 to 32,000, and for movies, video, you have 100 to 32,000 as well. Battery life approximately 420 shots. The monitor size on here is a 2.95 inch monitor size on here. Okay, so as you guys are searching around the internet, definitely check out this new Alpha A1. And if you are in the market for one, hey, drop it in the comment section. I would love to follow your channel if you're huge into photography and video as well. It's one of those things that I want to do more of if I get time to, and definitely would love to check out your channel. Now, of course, now with this type of camera, this does come with a higher price tag. Now, I did actually just see it when I did a Google search just now. So Sony Alpha 1. All right, let's see here. The Verge has just posted recently Sony's new flagship camera with monstrous specs and a $6,500 price tag. Okay, so this is not for newbies, it's not for beginners, this is for that full professional, which is a good thing when new cameras come out, because other camera models in the Sony line, their prices are going to get reduced and drop down. So that's great. So if you're in the market for a camera, now's the time that you can get a savings or a deal on something that you may have been eyeing in the past. So this is great, not only for the people that get their hands on a brand new camera, but also the people that are looking for one of the cameras in the line. And now there's going to be discounts coming if they're not already out here already. So pretty cool new camera. This is the Sony Alpha 1 camera, their new flagship camera, and you guys let me know what you think about this camera. Now, I hope you guys got some value from that video and you enjoyed hanging out with me. Now, this camera looks great, but I don't really need a $6,000 camera for what I do. I do a lot of live streaming, but if you're in photography and sports photography, wildlife, this thing is a powerhouse, and it's something that you'll probably definitely want to check out. I'm going to link to not only this camera below, but I'm going to link to the camera I use, and of course, this big old monitor that everyone asks about on a regular basis. So watch the rest of these videos on the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.